Hey, what's up YouTube? Steamtown Gamer here, and I'm back with another episode of Resident Evil Project Veronica. So, a quick recap. I went ahead and made another episode. It was about 5 minutes long, but basically it was terrible. I had serious audio issues. It was coming through very statically, and I just had to delete it. Unfortunately, I saved it, which means that I can't really go back and do it. But I can explain what I actually did. Now, we used this key card that Claire found over by that drawer over here. You went down, you go to the main computer in the lobby, and you punch in the code from the key card into the computer, which unlocks the security doors. The security doors get you into this like war room, where you find this steering wheel. A steering wheel for basically a submarine. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to head straight there. So what we need is simply this steering wheel, which I have here. And that is just about it. We ran into that kid, I forget his name already. He ran off with these golden Lugers, which we need for that door up ahead. So we have to run into him at another time and place during the game and collect them from him. Right now we're going to this underwater research facility. It is really fun there, even somewhat scary. No, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of another place, but this place is really interesting, as well as the fact that we get an upgrade for Claire. We get to upgrade her inventory. Now that's going to help us out a lot. Now there is something shining over there. That is a little token thing that we need all three to sort of get to the airplane hangar and get the fuck off the island. But we don't need to do that anytime soon, so there's no point going there. No point picking it up, because then we'd have to take it inside. We'd just be carrying it around. I might come back and get it if I've got room in my inventory when I come back. So we're down here. Now we can go around here. And there's a map here, but I've already taken the map, so you guys will actually find the map there. There's the submarine. Now sitting over here were some arrows for a bow and arrow gun that we get, which is really helpful. It will sort of like stop the overall usage of ammunition for, you know, firearms. So we're just going to go ahead and use that there. Spin it. It's basically just how you access the ladder to get into the submarine. Very small one. I don't really understand the concept behind it. You know, why take a submarine to just another part of the base? Why don't just try to leave in the submarine? But I guess you just can't. So if we go around here, there it is there, the upgrade for Claire. A side pack, you can carry more items. Put the side packs. And let's check it out. See? Bitchin'. There are a couple more upgrades. I believe she has an upgrade for her gun as well. And we even get to play as Chris Redfield as well, who's actually looking for, you know, his sister. He's in hiding, but he's being monitored by Umbrella. And we saw in a previous episode, Claire emailed Leon. And Claire and Leon tagged together during Raccoon City. It's funny, you never actually see all the main characters in the same room, which is kind of a shame. I would like to see them all together. So this is the underwater research facility. So remember with the fact that we got those kick-ass machine guns. There's a couple zombies here. They're not much of a hassle yet. No. Oh, I can't believe I forgot my knife. I might come back for that ink ribbon. So this is the plane hangar. Obviously, this is how we get the fuck out of the facility. But the bridge is down. Bridge is down, and we need those 3 little tokens I mentioned a bit earlier in order to actually get into the plane. Just about everyone else has evacuated. The planes are sort of set on autopilot to evacuate to this other facility, in case anything was, the Arctic facility, where, this is a bit of a spoiler alert, Veronica is. Hence the name Project Veronica, as in the Veronica virus. She invented it. It's about something about using this spider that they found in Africa, using the virus that was in the spider and mutating it with the T virus and a couple other, even the C virus as well. Basically, another mad person has got hold, just like Blinken, and they all just go nuts. Now, she has a twin brother who's obviously running this facility, and he has gone nuts. I mentioned before in another episode, they had these this incest relationship going on. He physically loved his sister and was in love with her, and I'm guessing she felt the same way as well. They have a really uptight family bringing, you know what I mean, like, they didn't have a normal childhood because they were just really rich and were surrounded by this kind of behavior where death was, you know, a major factor. They grew up hard, they grew up strong, they grew up disciplined. So this is a bit of a pain in the ass. We have to get to this crate which uploads that, that brings up that this elevator. Sorry, I'm completely blanked out. And then we have to, you know, find some stuff on the elevator, which is the keys. Now, you may be asking, why don't I just readjust it a bit easier? It's not as simple as that. Damn it. How many dollars have you lost to a crane machine? Write in the comments on how many dollars you've lost in a crane machine you think in your life so far. Basically, you can move in one direction, and if you take your hand off the controller in that direction, you can't redo it. So yeah, let's try this one. I moved forward a little bit more, so this one looks promising. Yes, here we go. So I actually got a logo for my video game channel. It's I got it from Fiverr, so you know it's $5 plus an extra $1 for like handling, and then but you know the currency rates, you know, Australian to American, it came to like $8.20, but still that's still pretty cheap, and it turned out much better than what I had planned. I'm going to upload it probably a bit later on today. Oh right, these are the worker ones, so these ones are a bit harder than normal. Now they don't have grenades in this this game. They didn't have them in the early on. Now I've done that, I'm just going to go ahead and switch to my regular firearm, 66%. So once those guns run out, there is no more ammunition for them. They are just dead weight and you just leave them there. So you've got to be very picky. Just basically use them when you only need to use them. You know what? I don't need to waste any ammo killing them. It's not going to be much of a hassle. Hit the biohazard card. Oh, sweet. I thought it was a key. Now these arrows, they're very weak, but you do get an arse load of them, and you can even cook like gas rounds to them, explosive, acid, and BOW. There's a BOW gas I forgot to mention that sort of, well, stops the BOWs. You don't actually see, I can't say I've seen it anywhere else in the game franchise other than in this area. So perhaps this is what they were researching. If I recall, this is what they were researching. This particular branch was researching on how to stop BOWs. So in many ways it was kind of good, but ultimately it was to sort of clean up their own mess. They never actually used them after this. Oh, how foolish of me. It's in here. How foolish of me. Okay, I do feel kind of foolish now because that obviously didn't where it belonged. I needed a lever, which raises the bridge, but unfortunately you can't go back the way you came. So you have to find an alternate route to get back. It's a whole concept, you know. We're getting ready to leave. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. And then you you know, raise the bridge, but you can't get out. So I've mentioned before, and you've probably noticed by the graphics, this is on PlayStation 2. The graphics aren't really something to, you know, boast about, but they're still pretty decent. They're not bad. And the cutscenes are well made as well. So this research facility was researching some new BOWs as well. We only really see them in this area. That's the thing about the Resident Evil games, like they keep a lot of the new BOWs, you know, in those isolated areas because, you know, you enter a room that they're researching. So just because you see a creature in one game doesn't necessarily you're going to see it in another. Of course, there are hunters in here, giant ass spiders, few other little nasties. Obviously, we came in interaction with a big ass worm. These are bats. Don't even get me started on these fucking bats. They're probably the most annoying creature. These effing bats. Yeah, those little 3 tokens. I don't know why I shouldn't have come through this area. It was kind of waste of time and waste of ammunition. But the bats are dead. That means they probably won't respawn, which is a good thing because they are a huge pain in the ass. But we have this key card now. Now we can go to like this industrial complex to a more adequate research facility. We're going to go hit that shortly. I've taken some damage. I'm not feeling well. That sucked. The problem is I had limited space at the start of the game, which means I left a lot of the herbs back behind at the start of the game. I do intend to go back there. We actually have to at some point, so there's no point going back there to grab some herbs and then running the back here. At least not during recording time anyway. If I feel that's what's necessary, I'll go do that. Now we're going to head back, and we have the key card, as I mentioned before. Now that gets us access into two areas. Oh no, sorry, one of two areas in this other area. Then we have to find another key card. But basically, there's no real wrong decision. You just, you know, pick a door and go through it, and then that will lead you to the other key card in some way. Now I'm going to head back into that little mansion. So the Ashford family has been quite wealthy and powerful, but they have lost a lot of their credibility over the coming years. It was their actually grandfather that saved it though, but it was their father who made shitty decisions. Their father who made the shitty decisions, which basically led their family to, well, kind of crumble. Sorry, I was hesitant there. So that's one of the tokens. We just need another 2 more, and then we can get in there. So if you don't know what you're doing in this game, the start of it's going to seem like it's going to take forever, but really it's not that long if you know what to do. Now, I've only played this game once to completion. I did start replaying it not that long ago, and I came pretty far. I got off the island, I got to this whole Arctic base thing. You can see these are all his ancestors here. Obviously, you know, wealthy gentlemen, things like that. They look French, if I recall. Anyway, yeah, their father had made a series of fucked up bad decisions. It even led to Veronica actually performing an experiment on her father. Like, she literally, like, drugged him and did this horrific experiment to see if it was safe for her. Turns out it failed colossally. Now, if I recall, there is no big enemies in this other room, so... But there is a security box, so I'm going to go ahead and leave them there. Once again, still a bit injured, but there are herbs where I'm going, so I'm going to be fine. So we passed this, like, complex on the way to the, you know, this big-ass mansion. If I recall, there's a lot of, like, research going on there, a lot of, you know, really cool stuff, and we're just simply going to go check it out. So basically, you're wondering what the fuck happened. You know, Claire just got to the facility a couple days ago, woke up and the zombies were everywhere, blah blah blah. This facility was attacked a couple days ago, or not that long after she arrived, and she had been unconscious throughout most of the chaos, so she didn't actually hear anything or see anything. What had happened was Wesker had shown up. Yeah, and basically trying to take what's his. I'm not too sure what he wanted. This is the big ass worm creature. Just run inside. You can't kill this thing. You can't stop. You can't do anything with it. like my hair, you just can't do anything with it. Oops. Obviously that creature is from one of the other Resident Evil 3 Project Nemesis as well. I don't really know what causes them, to be honest. It's just, maybe it was just an earthworm that got mutated. Maybe it was a BOW that escaped. I don't know. But there's a herb. But if I recall, there's another one. So if I recall, we get a simple lockpick from in here. You've got to be sort of stingy at the start of the game. That one's down. At least with these, you know, blue ones. Of course, the ones wearing the white suits were the construction workers and are a little stronger. These guys seem to be basic technicians of some kind. Basic workers. They don't have very... Oh crap, this one is fast. Okay, that one was an oddity, granted. Print out the map. Yes, please. Now we have the map of the facility, training facility, but there is a bit more to it than that. Those look like bullets. How am I doing? Oh, I am not doing too well. I thought I'd find a herb or something by now. I found nothing. I know for a fact there's something in this room, which is obviously in here. But we need the key to get in. So... this is a zombie. Herb. Please be green. Please be green. Please be green. Take the green herb. Yes. And we're going to go ahead and do the really traditional, really characteristic Resident Evil thing and simply combine the two herbs together. The red and the green that we saw out there. So as you know that the Umbrella Corporation invented the first aid spray, which is actually just a form of this herb. That's why when you enter anything Resident Evil like, I mean not Resident Evil, Umbrella like, they have this herb in spades because they just simply grow it around the facility because, you know, that's how they actually make their spray from. So obviously combining with the red gives you additional health compared to like combining it with two greens. But you don't get any health from the green. Vending machine. It says gum and Rosso. Rosso what? So this was like the lockers and stuff, nothing really of value here. This one is open, more bows, more arrows. Gas. Basically, it's a little gas-propelled arrow launcher. Once again, the arrows do jack shit damage, but you do get a lot of them, and they sort of like You shoot them maybe like 3 or 4 times. I used way too much ammunition that I felt comfortable with. Come on. I'm sorry, I know I just got to come back through this, and the zombies are going to be here. It's going to be a real pain in the ass. This is the male locker room. Once again, you don't really see many female ones. This guy's got his head blown off and cockroaches were eating it. See, we've got 90 rounds just for the bow, and we've got another 30 back in the security box. That guy was in the shower, sauna. Steam room. We will eventually shut down the steam. Basically, we have to shut down that little thing in order to find a set of keys that are basically there. Now you can see there's something in the corner over there. I believe that is a herb. These zombies are really withered, so I think this is just the steam. Have been, you know, the boiler has been still operating for quite some time now. So these guys are literally just corroded. Nothing but hot air inside. They were naked, obviously, because they were in the steam room, and they just, you know, corroded because the fact they've been stuck inside the steam room. So I believe that area is not for Claire. If I recall, it's for Chris, who comes a bit later on in the game, to search for his sister. Leon managed to get the email, and of course with the email they managed to, Leon managed to warn Chris and then find out what the fuck is going on. Right now the world isn't still very clear on what the fuck's happening with Umbrella. This is obviously the time before Raccoon City, if I recall. No, it's going to be just after Raccoon City, before the outbreak happened, because Claire knows Leon, and Claire didn't know Leon before Raccoon City. So this is just shortly after Raccoon City. Once again, our bloody cages, things like that. And now we have the bow gun, finally. There's a file here. Memo on the pass number. It's written on the wall. Emergency doors system. It's a 4-digit pass number. I hope you haven't forgotten it already. Just received an order from the system administration requesting us to change the pass number periodically. What bothers me is that how often they lose the important memos, pass numbers, or even chemicals. To solve that problem, I came up with this idea. You know that human or the red human skeleton, or the red human skeleton picture in the back of the biology experiment room? I've decided to use the number sign on as the picture as the pass number. If you happen to lose the memo, just look at the picture. So basically we need this, we need to view this picture, but we can't do that yet. Now we have to go into this room. but we need the pass number. And this cutscene triggers. So we didn't actually see the BOW, we did see its hand. Now its hand has 3 appendages. That's the red skeleton, but you can't see the number from here. We actually have to use the security camera. Anyway, that hand has 3 little appendages or claws. In a circle, not just like next to each other like a hand, but more in a circle.
Level 3.
Like a claw.
Emergency shutters will close.
Like from the claw game.
That was close.
We could go back in there. There's no point. We're going to use this key card now. See, you're locked behind this as well, which means we can't go back to where we came. Anyway, as I was saying, that BOW that we saw, that it had a yellow hand with 3 claws on it. It's only got 1 hand. The other one is deformed. It's a BOW, a prototype BOW that is only located on this island. We don't see it in any of the other Resident Evil games. And I've triggered a cutscene. Alfred. All you had to do was make it to the stairs and then he runs off. He obviously ran off through here, I think. It's locked from the other side. It's possible that he went through there now that I think about it. Claire took a shot. She has taken some damage. She shouldn't have taken that much damage now that I think about it, but... Yeah, so he definitely went through that door that was locked from the other side. He has a special key or something. Because he's going to play a little game. Now, if I recall, this is where we run into that kid. Then we're going to exchange the a bitchin' set of guns for those gold Lugers. Therefore, we can get into the Alfred's... Alexandra... Alfred, yeah, I think it's Alfred. His mansion. So this, I believe, is a safe room of some kind. Yes, it is. And this is going to be the end of the episode because simply I don't want it to be too long. Like and subscribe and share if you haven't already. Leave a comment on something you think I've missed. I also mentioned to write down how many dollars you've lost to one of those bloody claw games. How much do you think you've lost in your entire life? Maybe even what you've tried to get out of those claw games. Anyway, catch you later, YouTube.